Good morning, students. Now today we are going to start our ninth lecture of chapter number 11, that is ray optics. Okay, and in our 8th lecture, in our previous lecture, we are discussing about some of the phenomena which are related to the refraction. In that, 3 phenomena we have discussed about the twinkling of stars, sunrise and sunset, and the bending of a rod spoon in a liquid. This is our next appearance of a bottom of a liquid as raised. Now next we are going to start the bending of a rod or a spoon in a liquid. Okay, whenever we see any kind of a rod or a spoon in the liquid, we have just been seen that it was slightly bent. So how it is possible and through which phenomena it has been happened. So first of all I will draw the diagram. So through this diagram you can easily understand how it was looks like. So this is the surface in which we can say that it was a liquid present in this. Okay, and through this there is a one, I am just be using like any kind of a pencil or a rod which is dipped in this liquid. Okay, and afterwards when we have seen it was dipped like this, but it was just be created a normal. Okay, through this normal line it was slightly bent through this. Okay, it was slightly bent, and in this we can just be say that instead of being an image at E, it was a real one, its image will become at E dash. Okay, this is point A, the point of incidence B, and this is about the C and C dash. Okay, so how it was bent due to the it was moving through what we can say from denser to rarer. So liquid is the denser, air is the rarer, so it was away from the normal. Okay, so when a rod is partially dipped in a liquid, the rod appears to be bent. This is because the apparent position of its different parts in liquid seems to be raised according to their depth. Okay, and even it was appear at A, B, E, but it was appears as A, B, E dash. Okay, so this is about the bending of a rod or a spoon. This is all about the atmospheric refraction only. Clear beta? Moving ahead with the 5th one. This is the 4th one point beta. 3 we have discussed in our previous lecture. Now in the next one, for the 5th one beta, it is about the refraction through a glass slab. Refraction through a glass slab. Okay, so how this refraction takes place beta? Through a glass slab. Even this is the one of your activity. in your practical exam also. So you have to be discussed through this here only. Understand this thing about only diagram. We have to be focus and concentrate. So what is the diagram for the refraction through a glass slab? Even I am also drawing the diagram. You have to be write the theory by your own. Okay. So here through a refraction through a glass slab, first of all we have to take a glass slab. So here we are taking a rectangular glass slab. Okay. Suppose labeling we can say A, B, C, D. A rectangular glass slab we have taken. Here we are having two medium. First air, which is your rarer medium. Next this is your glass. So glass, this one is the denser medium, and again the air, rarer medium. This is the glass slab. Okay. Now as the light has been falling it, okay, from here, so this one is, we can say, the incident ray. When it falls, if it was not be a refraction, then it was directly without any bending from its actual path, it can directly travel like this. Okay, but there is a different medii are present. So I am just plotting a normal line. So when the light rays has been entered from rarer to denser, it is moved towards the normal. So from here it was moved like this towards normal. So this is your angle of incidence I. This is the first refraction. So R1, angle of refraction R1. So as it was reached at this point, then again I am just plotting the normal. Now this time these two are the same angle. Okay, and this one is also your R1, this is also be R1, and here it behaves like a incident ray. This time this is behave like the incident angle. Okay, so this one I am just be again denoting with the R1 only, or you can say it was I1, this is I2. This is depends upon you. Now, and now it was moving from glass to air, means denser to rarer. So always when the light rays has moving from denser to rarer medium, the ray is just be away from the normal. So it is away from the normal, and it was emerged. So that was, it is your emergent angle. So this ray is your emergent ray. This one is your refracted ray. This normal is your N, N dash, M, M dash. This is your incident ray. The separation between these two parallel lines, the incident ray and the emergent ray, now here both are the parallel lines, and these separation between them, this is a D, and this is known as lateral displacement. Lateral displacement. Clear? And even I just told you that angle I is the angle of incidence, angle R is, or we can say R1 is angle of refraction, and angle E is angle of emergence. And always remember that angle I is equals to angle E. Angle I is always equals to angle E. Okay, so this is about the emergence one beta. Okay, and through this we are able to understand what is the refraction through a glass slab. Okay, clear? So this is the fifth one. The theory for this you have to be write by your own, that the refraction of a light has been occurs in the refraction through a glass slab twice. Once from air to glass, then second from glass to air. Means first from rarer to denser, then from denser to rarer. First when the rays has been enter to the slab, and when it was comes out of the slab. Okay, so when here it was angle of incidence I, okay, when it was entering in the slab, and then the emergence angle we are having. So angle I is equal to the angle of emergence. Incident ray and the emergent ray both are parallel to each other, okay, but there is a lateral shifting of the emergent ray through this incident ray. That's why it is known as lateral displacement. Clear? Okay, so this is about it. Now moving further with some of the numericals are there. So I am just be telling you the numericals, and these numericals are completely not be so difficult. So one numerical here we are going to solve it out beta. The wavelength of a color of light in air is 6000 angstrom, which changes to 4500 angstrom in water. Find the velocity of light in water. Okay, so here is a wavelength of a light, color of a light is this. When it was changes to this type that much wavelength when it was in a water. So we have to find the velocity of a light. Easy numerical is this, not so much stuff, direct relation we have to be used here. So in the solution of this, here we know that there is a relation, that the refractive index of second medium to the first medium is the ratios of the velocity of first to the velocity of a second, and how this is the relation of lambda 1 to lambda 2. And how this relation I have identified beta, you know about this relation, velocity is equals to displacement upon time, means velocity is equals to nu lambda. This nu is the frequency, and this one is the wavelength. And how does this formula has been developed beta? Because in this we have just be studied beta, velocity is equals to displacement upon time. Now 1 upon time is your frequency, that is nu, and here the light rays is coming, so its displacement should be in the lambda form. So if the frequency is constant, it means the velocity is directly proportional to the lambda. That's why here when we are taking the ratios of V1 upon V2, the wavelength is also being the ratio of like this. Okay, now it was just moving from air to water. So air is your first medium, water is the second medium. So here we have conclude that velocities ratio we have to be find, and wavelength has been given in the question. So it means water to air, and this is also water to air. Now velocity for the water we have to find, because in the air it was moving with 3 into 10 to the power 8 we know. So I am writing it down also here. The velocity for the air of a light ray is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. It was the speed of a light, you know it very well. So here lambda W lambda A into VA. Okay, now we have to put all these values. So in the water it is 4500, and in the air it is 6000. Angstrom has the same unit, so the unit has been cancelled out, 10 to the power minus 10. Okay, I just be writing it down. 1 angstrom means 10 to the power minus 10 meter into 3 into 10 to the power 8. When you solve it out, you may even check it, its answer will be 2.25 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Okay, clear? Get my point beta? So this is about one of the numerical. One more numerical I am just be given you, but that numerical you have to be do at your home as a homework. Okay, so the homework numerical I am giving you right now. This numerical you have to be do at your home. Okay, so the absolute refractive indexes of water and glass are 4:3 and 3:2 respectively. Means 4:3 for the water and 3:2 is for the glass. You have to find the refractive index of water when the ray enters from glass to water. Clear? So this is the numerical that you have to be do in your notebook. In this, the refractive index of water has been given, that is 4/3, and for the glass it is given for the 3/2. These are the absolute refractive index. Now you have to find the refractive index of water when the rays has been entered from glass to water. So there is a simple ratio that n/1 is equals to n2 upon n1, means water and glass is equals to water upon glass. So water is 4/3 upon glass is 3/2. So when you have solved this, then you are able to get your answer. Okay, clear? Now moving further with the next topic, that is TIR, total internal reflection. This is a very much important topic. Sometime it was just be simply asked, define TIR in the 2 marks question, even in the 1 mark question, what do you mean by TIR? Okay, so that was total internal reflection. This is your TIR, total internal reflection. So first of all, I am just be simply explain you in the normal term with a diagram. With the diagram only you are able to understand what is TIR. Okay, because if I am writing the theory, then you are not be able through this. So about TIR, I just be told you that suppose this is the separation, different diagram I am drawing it out. Okay, so first of all, always remember TIR has been developed only in that condition when the light has been traveled from denser to rarer medium. Okay, so suppose when the light ray is coming from denser, this is normal, to a rarer medium, then it was always be away from the normal. So this is your angle I, this is your angle R. Okay, I am just increasing this value. As I am increasing the incident ray, then the refracted ray is also be increased, and there we have reached at a particular condition on which that the angle, when the incident ray is coming, then your angle of refraction will become 90 degree. Okay, and from the denser to the rarer medium, and this time the angle of incidence is known as the critical angle. Okay, IC is your critical angle. Okay, now as I am slightly increased when the light ray is coming from denser to rarer, now I am increasing that the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle. It means when it does happen, then again it was more than the 90 degree, it is like this. This is your angle I and this is your angle R. It is behave like a reflection phenomena. Okay, clear? So when the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle and the angle of refraction is more than the 90 degree, then such type of the cases is known as the total internal reflection. Okay, that was the total internal reflection. So I am just writing that definition. First definition is that the angle of incident for which the corresponding angle of refraction becomes 90 degree is called critical angle, and this critical angle is denoted by theta c. Okay, next definition is that if angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, then angle of refraction is more than 90 degree and the ray is totally reflected back. This phenomena is called total internal reflection, that is TIR. Okay, clear? And even this TIR has been required two basic things. First, that the rays should be enter in rarer medium from the denser, means light rays should be travel from denser to rarer. And second thing is that the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle. If such conditions made, then only this TIR phenomena we will able to acquire. Okay, clear? So this is about, so your homework is to solve the numerical, and the further we are moving with proceeding in our next lecture. Okay beta, thank you, that's all for today.